Hi, and welcome back to God's Golden Acres. Today I'm going to do a homestead tour for the month of May. And we're going to have to do it kind of quick because we've got a storm on the way. So the dogs are going to be mad because I've already got them put up a little early. Our one dog's kind of sick, so she doesn't need to be out getting wet and cold because we're also getting a temperature drop with this storm. So they're up in their pens and they're not too thrilled about it because it's not quite bedtime yet. So they might be barking at us. We might be hearing some thunder. So we haven't done much to the house. But in this building behind me, we've actually done quite a bit. And it's going to be hard to see because it's dark. But we have spent so much time in this building. And this used to be where everyone stayed while the big house was being built. So this was built by the Amish as a temporary cabin. And so there's no light, there's no electricity here. It hasn't been remodeled. And like this door kind of sucks. This door kind of sucks. So this was full of leaves. It was kind of a storage place. There was boxes of like old papers that just needed burned from the previous owners. I mean like 10, 15 years ago, old papers. You know, like just burn it. There was like toys that they had just left here that we then like bleached and cleaned up for the kids. Some that we've put away for when they get bigger, which that's kind of cool. So then we have a small freezer here, which has like old phone numbers on it. So I'm not going to show that because we have our old memory magnets. I was a miss for our local town growing up, so I have my own like personal magnets on there, and then my husband's family business, which is no longer opens on there. So then we have our tool wall back here. The stuff that's low, the kids are allowed to grab. So they have their own special rakes and shovels. They have slightly bigger rakes and shovels, which is fine for them to reach. And then stuff like the axes up here. I've got some stuff, the chemicals they left, I just put up high. And then some fertilizer that's organic right here. We've got some harvest baskets in this little bench that was left. And then some other stuff that I'm still not quite ready to go through, but it's a big deal. And we spent hours, like many hours, cleaning all that up. And the next thing that is pretty exciting is that over here, we did a lot more work to this barn or shop. So you've seen that we put in that first door, but we put in the second door. There was another wooden door here, but it wasn't necessarily secure. So we had it screwed shut to make sure that snoopers don't necessarily like try to push it open. But really, if you like gave it a good shoulder bump, it would have opened. So we got that replaced with a secure door. So all 4 doors on these walls are now secure. Ooh, getting beaten by mosquitoes before the storm. So that's really cool. And then over here, we have an interesting development. It looks like, and you would have seen a clip of that before I actually started this video in the intro, that we have a group of bees trying to make a hive in a chicken run that came with our chicken coop. I'm going to try to get closer. It was really windy when I was trying to film. Like, there used to be a lot more bees in this swarm, and I don't know if they split up or if it's just now that they're working, they're out. I'm not really sure. But it looks like there's still a few there. I'm not going to get super close, but I will zoom in with the camera again. a group of something. They were way bigger the other day. And I'm not the expert at bees. I've kind of always avoided them. So we have word in with our neighbors to see if we can get one of the Amish families that does honey to come over and take a look. And if they are honeybees, take them. If they are not, we'll probably try to get them to swarm and go somewhere else. Because we don't really want them hanging out right where they are. And possibly get a little bit closer. Step over the fence. When you're zoomed in, the camera kind of likes to go crazy. But first I was pretty sure they were swarming. Andrew was like, no, like they're building under there. But they were bigger than that. And they've been here 2.5 days now, at least, from when we first noticed them. So I'm gonna say they're gonna try to build there. Really cool that there are bees, and I'm assuming it is this Amish family's hive that swarmed because it was huge when we first saw it. Maybe it split, but I'm not a great expert on bees. I'm allergic to wasps. Wasp bites, I get a really decent rash, and I then risk a blood poisoning or blood reactions. Some doctors don't consider that an allergy. Some doctors do. Mine does. And it's starting to rain. And so anything with a stinger I've always been wary of since that first giant rash. I mean, I had one sting and I had a rash from my toes halfway up my leg. Like, it was a pretty bad reaction to their venom. So I do avoid bees. Like, I realize bees are much less likely to sting than wasps, and I haven't had the same reaction to a bee sting, and I have been stung a ridiculous amount of times. From the time I was 2 until 16, I was stung a minimum of twice this summer, and we didn't have bees. You know, it's not like, oh yeah, well, you're a beekeeper family, you get stung a couple of times a year. No, like, the first time I remember being stung, I was sitting in a tent at a babysitter's house, and I watched the wasp come in and fly behind me, and I'm sitting on the ground playing with a doll, and it came up and stung me on the back of the arm, and it was pretty intense. And of course, several were just like grabbing a bicycle handle that a wasp happened to be on. There was a wasp that had like shoved itself between 2 cushions on an outdoor swing. Of course, I sat like on the wasp, and it stung me in the upper thigh. So there were several things like that, but then the last wasp sting I got, I was actually playing soccer, and it crawled its way down into my cleat, and then got mad that it was inside my cleat and stung me. Which, of course, before that, I was like trying to stomp it and kill it because I'm 16 and I know that like getting stung by a wasp sucks. So I'm like trying to stop it with my cleat beforehand. I like shoo it away at least, and it doesn't. So then it lands on my shin guard, which I'm then like shooing it away, like get off me, and then just crawl straight down. It stings me. Like, they're intelligent, let me tell you. Well, I am going to end this a little bit early. Not as big of a tour as I normally do, but I will link the garden tour for this last week underneath in the description. That way you can go back and see the garden areas, because I'm about to get soaked, and the cats would really appreciate getting fed before I ran inside before I got soaked. So thanks for being with us today. If you like what we're doing, hit that like button. If you want to follow along, hit that subscribe button, and share us with someone you think will like our video. God bless.